Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 219. Today is Sunday, February 18, 2018, and I'm glad you could join me today. We'll just be, well, it doesn't quite make sense, but I was thinking that tomorrow will be 219, and this is 219, so this is how I keep myself amused. I was hoping to get a couple more things done today, but I'm like, such is life. I did manage to graft a sock, so that wasn't too shabby. And upon further thought and review, I should grab my sock blocker. So that was exciting. I'll be back. Like, we can't not have a sock on a blocker when I finish the sock. So, I came upon some very productive knitting time this week and managed to get from gusset decreases to the toe in a single day, which is so exciting. And so this is the Hunter Hammerson's Linaria Bipartita sock. It is from the Knitter's Curiosity Cabinet number 1. It was, or what was it, volume 1, I believe. See, they weren't even going to be in volumes when they did this one. And it is the stretchiest stinking sock I've ever knit. So it does look good, it does fit nice. I did the 72 stitch size, even though I was doing the probably 9 stitches per inch still, it was still good. So, and then the yarn is Sheep Dreamery in the Potomac sock, I believe, so that's a 75-25. And it was a sock blank, so you can see the variation and striping in here. And perhaps you can also see the pattern as well, maybe. I don't know. It seems like this, back here you can see the pattern. Up closer it disappears. So, first sock's done, haven't cast on the second sock yet, but that will probably be happening soon, because it is such a great, it really was such a great carry-around project. So, I'm trying to remember when I started those. Probably towards the end of January. Oh well. Still drinking the Kona coffee. I had to grind some more fresh because apparently I didn't have enough left. So, what was it? This is how much yarn I have left over from my ball, so still a pretty decent sized chunk. Oops. And then this is my hand wound ball from back in October, so approximately the same size but very different density. So, shouldn't be too crazy. I finished them off on my signature zeros, which could cut God. They are very fierce needles. So, I did end up starting a new project. I'm trying to think. I think I started this Thursday night, actually, and then rather quickly realized it was going to not be a good project, so that's why the socks got so much love. But this is a 10-stitch blanket. It's a Frankie Brown pattern. She has a lot of really great free patterns on Ravelry. She just asked that you make a donation to the American Liver Society. So this is a modular pattern, and I have recently turned a corner on this. I'm just trying to figure out the best way of showing what's going on. So, like keep everything in place and call it good. So I'm knitting this out of 3 different colors of Cascade fingering weight yarn. This lighter sort of seafoamy tealish color is the Heritage Silk. This blue color is Heritage Sock, and then this greenish color is actually Heritage Waves, so it's actually many colors. Yeah, you can sort of see that. And I am going around and around on this thing. So, what I am doing may be different than what the pattern called for, is I'm actually carrying my yarn on this joining stitch. So all of my yarn is always attached. This will result in slightly higher yarn usage, but significantly less weaving in of ends, which I considered to be a win. And so this wave is going to slowly change in color as I knit, and the other two will just remain solid. But I was just like so smitten with this project the other day. I was just like, another 2 rows. Okay, maybe another 2. Like, it was just so much fun to keep going, and it was like, I accomplished something. Let me knit two more rows. So so it's been a lot of fun to work on so far. It hasn't been too crazy with respect to tangles, and I realized at some point that I'm actually knitting an 11 stitch blanket instead of a 10 stitch blanket, but I don't care. I'm not sure where the strangeness occurred, but basically at some point I realized that the count was a little off and that it didn't really matter to me anymore. So, it is, effectively speaking, something where you're building on this slipped edge as you're going across the piece. So there is a little bit of, what would it be? So now that I've reached the end of the little row, I slip my giant pile of yarn, and then I pick up the appropriate stitch, and then I take my 4 strands, and then I knit everything together. And so that's what's producing the fun little thick edge there. And life continues on. So it's like pretty mindless knitting. It does require some light, whatever, because you need to see which stitch to pick up. And what I'm doing is actually doing 2 sides, so hopefully after this sort of beginning stage, the rest of it will be a little bit more balanced, but it'll just keep alternating in colors as I go around. So I started with the green, and then I did the darker blue, the lighter blue, and now I'm back to green again. So this little section in here is going to be the only one where it goes green, blue, green. So, and then when I'm done, I'll just bind off that end and call it good, but obviously I have quite some ways to go. So this is probably going to be a long-standing project. This is for my little brother and my sister-in-law, so they're, I think, expecting in August. So, yay! I did cast it on. So it has been a lot of fun too. I would like to try to finish my socks before the end of February, but I'm not sure how realistic that will be. It's just fun to like fold it up and see all of the different colors and stuff like that. So hopefully it won't be too crazy. But this will probably be, or this project will definitely be going with me on my trip, so that'll be fun. Hopefully I can make some good progress on it, because it is exciting. Okie doke. It was like not nearly enough coffee drinking, apparently. So I was really happy with how productive I was in getting all of that stuff done. I can't remember if I had finished this. I don't think I had. It's a little bit of an explosion going on here, but I do have 2 very full Anchorworks bobbins of my singles project. So this is for my 5-bump combo spin with all of these different colors of nest. And you can sort of get maybe a sense for how all of the colors are sort of coming together. Definitely an interesting exercise in trying to stay random. So, got 2 full bobbins here, and hopefully I can keep powering through once I get the other stuff off the wheel. So what I have going on right now is a different combo spin. So this is a part of the Fun Onions group. So it was like a crossover group from the Completely Twisted and Arbitrary. So they are a pretty good group of people. And generally the thing that they like to do is actually sort of get you out of your comfort zone with respect to spinning. So instead of always spinning the same things, try doing something new. So this is what I have so far on my second bobbin. I finished the first bobbin Friday night, so I'm nearly done with all the singles on this project. So this is what I was sort of hoping I could finish today, but then there wasn't really time to do it. So you can... that turned out pretty blue. So, this is the first group, and then I have approximately 2 more little nests of fiber to go. So I have this little one because I figured I had lost some fiber replace, and then it turned out to be in the bobbin, and I decided to put it on. And then this is my last nest. So I can break it open for you guys because it's awfully fun to look at them. So what I did was I held them all on this end, and obviously there are some strips of fiber that are much longer than the others. But you can sort of get a sense for all of the different fibers that are going into this. If I could tease it all apart. So I have pieces with pinks and oranges and this like highlighter yellow color, 2 different shades of pink, 2 different shades of teal, and then some really bright blue in some of the pieces too. So all sorts of craziness. So what I'm doing is, what I had been doing was taking an entire nest, then opening it up, spinning it onto my bobbin randomly, and then when I was done, then I would pick up my next nest and randomize the colors and go from there. So trying to make sure that there isn't whatever, trying to keep things mixed up decently. So 2 of the textures for the 6 different types of fiber, or sorry, 3 of the different fibers were pretty rough, so I've just been sort of intermixing them with the softer ones. So I'll do a rough one and then a softer one and sort of go through that. Obviously it's not perfect because there were 9 total at once, and one of the top ones was I think a little bit rougher, so sometimes that gets put in the middle too. So hopefully, or whatever, the odds are pretty good that I will finish the spinning and then start the flying. So I'll probably take a photo of both completed bobbins and go from there. So that has been a lot of fun. I've been trying to spin this a bit thicker in order to just sort of make a thicker yarn, because I don't think what it'd be. I'm curious about how everything's going to come together, and then I think after I sample a little bit I'll figure out whether or not I want to do a cable or not. that would make a very, that would probably make a very thick yarn for me. But whatever, such is life. So I've been, every so often I'll catch myself and like, wait, you're spinning too thin, just chill out. So, and honestly, it's been a little bit easier to draft thick on the, the fibers that had really good prep. So that was nice. And I only know, what is it? So I have some Rambouillet. I know I have some merino. I know I have some merino bamboo silk, and the rest is a total mystery to me. So, oh well, such is life. So hopefully that'll be wrapped up, and maybe the next podcast I'll be able to show you guys what I decided to do, whether it was a 2-ply or a cable ply. So the last thing I have is my 9 ounces of nest fiber. So I ended up getting this in the mail probably yesterday. So this is some superwash merino silk, and this is in the mistletoe colorway. So she was so kind to replace the fiber. Let's see if I can. Where did I put it? I feel like I'm going a little crazy. What's my grandma do? So, I am going to be subbing out this bright red fiber. In my little combo spin experience with the green stuff. So it'll be maybe, and the fact is, in terms of value, I think the green is like a nice dark color, so it shouldn't be too crazy. So I'll be doing a blue and green sweater instead. And then this yarn will have like the bright pops of red that I really liked as well. So it'll be a much more conservative sweater, but that's probably okay. And the fiber prep from Jen is always so good, so it's a pity that I had that bad experience, but she went above and beyond my expectations for making it right, so I really do appreciate that. So in terms of when this gets its day in the sun, would it be, I suppose, that I have all of this yarn hot to trot. So we'll figure out how I can work it into my planned spinning for the year. What would it be? It just seems like there is so much stuff that I want to spin this year that I'm putting myself into a little bit of a bind. What would it be? I guess that I have managed to get some pretty, some very good progress on my spin to bin so far, so maybe it won't be too crazy to fit some of this other stuff in. I'm not sure. But, yay. So, really happy, really gorgeous green. I don't tend to go for the greens normally, but it is a color that I look good in, so it's just not the first thing I gravitate to always, you know what I mean? I do love me a red, so. Oh well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these skeins, since obviously they haven't treated me so well, but whatever they'll end up being, they'll be together, so have to figure something out that'll work. So, what would it be? It seems like there are an awful lot of things on my dance card right now, so. Okay. So it would be quite awesome. What would it be? Or where do I stand right now? So I've blown through this 8 ounces, or nearly blown through this 8 ounces. I probably have 10 ounces so far on my combo spin, so this means that I'm halfway through March's progress at this point. And what would it be? I'll be able to make some pretty good progress on my spin. There, I think after I finish another Bobbin of Ness, then I'm going to take a break and play around with my Three Fathers farm, so that was a different spin along. So this is Waiting in the Wings, and there have been a couple of people who have posted what they've done so far, so that's always fun to try to get an idea about how I want to spin it. Getting the feeling that I probably do actually want to spin it a bit thicker. Than my default, so what would it be? My default is pretty thin right now, so it takes some thought, but it's not like it's the end of the world. I don't know, it'd just be the case where I've been enjoying looking at the 2 plays out there, so trying to figure out how to make the right project match for that one. And then I do have, what would it be, my oft-neglected Spindle project, so hopefully that's going to get some love while I'm traveling next weekend. But yeah, no, it feels like it's been awfully busy. It's also been pretty productive, so can't complain about that. The Olympics has been a very good vehicle for mindless watching, so I was able to punch through a lot of this while watching hockey and curling and snowboarding and all of that other fun stuff. I think there was a whole night of men's figure skating, so when it starts to get dark here, that'll probably be what I'll be doing tonight, is finishing up that project. And I'll just throw caution to wind and apply it right away. I just have to be careful, because it was, for some reason, or I know what happened, I had my fast flyer on, and based on how thick I'm spinning, that was probably a little bit too much oomph, but not enough that I felt like changing out my flyer to the appropriate flyer for spinning that thick, so so it's a little twisty. So I'll have to be mindful of pulling all the little pigtails out of it, you know what I mean? I won't be able to record next week because I'm going to be out of town, but I should be able to record the week after that, which may bring us into March already. Yeah, that'll bring us into March. Like, February's so short. But hopefully that won't be too crazy. Yeah, it won't be too crazy. But it's always funny where you're like, wow, where's all the time gone? Just because February is short. What is it? Everyone is still super duper excited about Fiberfest. It's like, I don't know, seeing like all the pictures from Madrona and stuff like that is always interesting to be like, and I can't wait for what's in my own backyard, yay! So, what is it? It was a little bit funny because apparently everyone who signed up for a class ended up getting an email saying that we had received free tickets to the Franklin Habit Talk, And then later that day we got an email being like, never mind. Because I signed up for 9 hours, but that was still 6 hours short of qualifying for the ticket. I don't know why someone would sign up for the full weekend, because I like to have some good old-fashioned market time, and that's pretty hard to do. If you're in a classroom while the market's open. And it'll be a lot of fun to enable my friends into cool purchases, so that would be my special skill, is being able to find what they're looking for. So, honest to goodness, I'm not sure if there's anything that I really want that's fiber related right now. Isn't that weird? It seemed like an awful lot of fiber entered my life in the month of February. Yeah. 24 ounces? Nope. 32 ounces. So, what would that be? It's probably not quite 32, but it's probably 30 actually. So that's an awful lot of new stuff. It's not really fitting very well right now in my storage system, so. Oh man, I really do love how the green looks with the purple though. But such is life. So, I think that's everything for the week. So I hope you guys have a lovely next couple of weeks, and I look forward to talking to you guys in March. So, take care guys. Bye-bye.